Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here. Today, I wanted to do a little Let's Talk about Metro Exodus because I think the game is massively overhyped. I think it's being way over-reviewed. I don't think the game is nearly as good as people are making it out to be because the game, objectively, I'm going to be honest with you, objectively suffers from severe flaws that make the game not even close to a 9 or an 8. I think that it's extremely overhyped. Now, the game isn't bad. I want to make that clear. The game isn't bad. It's just overhyped by the community. I don't know why people are overhyping this game. Like I said, it just baffles me. So I'm going to go into pros and cons. I'm going to keep the format as simple as possible. But before I get in there, I want to make sure that I cover the fact that I am playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is relevant because that platform kind of struggles with this game a little bit. There are more issues with pop-in. There are terrible loading times, like fucking abysmal loading times in certain areas. Like, it's really bad. So yeah, I played on PS4 Pro, and I also played on the Hardcore Ranger difficulty, which I think is honestly the most optimal way to play the game. To play the game closer to a game like Stalker, I think is really the best way to get joy out of Metro Exodus. I just really feel that way, and difficulty dramatically impacts the experience you have playing this game. So, all in all, now that everything's covered, let's just jump into pros first and foremost. Because I know some people are triggered that I'm saying nasty things about my video game. Oh my god. Get over it. You know, get grown. Just grow up. It's fine. But let's talk about the positives of Metro Exodus. Because I plan on playing some more of this game. I do enjoy it. So first off, the graphics. I think the graphics are really great. They're complemented by really good lighting, really good textures. I wish the frame rate was a little better, and I wish there was a performance mode option on the Pro. I would rather play at 1080-60 or even 720-60 than play at 4K 30. It just kind of feels bad. But graphics overall are kind of nice. Again, the lighting is just really exceptional, and it really makes good use of the day and night cycle. It's just really cool. I like the graphics of Metro Exodus. The level design is also really cool. It's very open-ended. The exploration is probably the most fun you're going to have in this game, is just running around the more open level structures, and I feel like it's a lot of fun. I actually like the open-endedness of it, and it does add some tension being that way. Being that certain enemies do spawn kind of in an RNG way does make the experience a little dynamic. So overall, exploration and level design is really great. On top of the exploration, the rewards you get for that are also really nice too. You find a bunch of different optional upgrades that make significant difference in your gun's performances. You might find longer barrels, scopes, laser sights, anything that just dramatically increase the performance of your weapon and allow you to customize them depending on the situation. Maybe you want a suppressor for this scene in the game because it's more stealthy. Maybe you want to put long barrels and high caliber shit on it. Look, it's just really good. I really like the exploration. It's wonderful. And then finally, we have the mutants. I think the mutants are probably the best thing in the game on top of the exploration because they add real tension in combat. They have very diverse AI. They're really the biggest threat in Metro Exodus. And I just really enjoy the combat with the mutants. I think that it adds a lot of tension. And I also love the craft pack. I kind of went into a little bit with the weapon customization, but the craft pack basically allows you to change your weapons on the fly and also craft things like first aid and air filters using the resources that you found throughout the environment. Again, looting in Metro Exodus is just absolutely exceptional. These are the things that I really think make players like the game. You know, all of these things that I just discussed. Now, moving into the cons. Oh, baby. Why is this game a 9 out of 10 to you people? I will never understand. But anyhow, the storytelling in this game is shit. It's not acceptable, in my opinion. It's not even passable. It's fucking bad. The voice acting is just so hit and miss. to a point where it feels disjointed. It's like they recorded the audio at different times of the day when they were in different moods. It really does feel that way. And on top of that, the storytelling is also bogged down by terrible morality mechanics. Basically, I was told that if you go through a section of the game and you fail a stealth section, you basically get the bad ending. That is not a moral choice. If someone fucking shoots a gun at me and I shoot back, there is nothing morally wrong with what I am doing. I am morally in the right to defend myself. So fuck that. That's ridiculous. The morality in this game is apparently atrocious. I haven't beaten the game completely. That's why I'm saying it that way. Full disclosure. Artyom not speaking is horrendous. It makes the fucking story feel so weird, because like think of it like this. One of the most compelling voice actors in the game is Anna. I really like Anna as a character. I think her body language is actually exceptional, but I can't believe her relationship with Artyom when he doesn't say a fucking thing to her. She's like, "Oh, Artyom, my love, you came to save me. I know you would." And then, like, Artyom's just sitting there like he has fucking brain damage from all the radiation or something. Like, he just doesn't say anything. And here's the thing. Artyom has a voice actor. I'm losing my goddamn mind. I can't help it. Artyom has a voice actor that is good. He sounds badass. He's just a Russian guy. He has great narration. Why the fuck doesn't he speak in the game? There's no reason. It's not like we're filling his shoes as the player. It's not like we're making intricate dialogue choices for Artyom. Artyom deserves to have a voice. He should be a voice protagonist. He's an established character in the lore. And he has established opinions. He never shares them. It's terrible. It's terrible storytelling. Stop defending it, reviewers. It's not true. It's bad. The storytelling in this game fucking sucks. It's egregious. Okay, now that we got out of that issue, let's talk about the clipping issues in the game. And this is a minor graphical nitpick. Like, you'll see guns going through legs and shit like that, or entering someone's body at times, which can be jarring and take you out of the experience. But it's really annoying in the environment when there are clipping issues. When you get caught up on something that isn't there, where you're trying to shoot an enemy and it clips on invisible hitboxes on the cover, like the hitbox of like for example, I was shooting at a mutant, and I wish I was recording doing this, but it was just open world nonsense. But I was shooting at a mutant who was hiding in a car, and I was shooting through an open car window that the window was not even on there. I even went and checked after the fight. And I wasted like half a clip trying to shoot a demon through this car window, but it was clipping on this invisible car window that was just somehow there. And that is shitty. I hate that amount of clipping. It's happened to me multiple times. I'm trying to shoot an enemy behind cover, and it's just really, really annoying. Another thing that's annoying about Metro Exodus is the weapon degradation system on the hardest difficulty. Your weapons degrade retardedly fast. And I would understand this if it's like, oh, I jumped in the water and my weapon's dirtier now because of that. That makes sense. But we're talking about you shoot half a clip and your gun's like 30% more dirty. And being someone who has shot actual firearms, that's just fucking retarded. You're doing it to artificially increase the difficulty of your game, and it's not fun. Like, I'm okay with having to maintain my weapons, but this is excessive. Like, when you shoot a couple clips out of an AK-47, a gun that is known for being durable as fuck, it does not get dirty and jam. It doesn't do that. And with this weapon degradation system, the reason it's so annoying is because it affects the way your guns perform. Sometimes you can line up your crosshair on an enemy's skull, and this is really pertinent in this game because the damage modifier of headshots is really, really big in Metro Exodus. And you can have your crosshairs like dead center of someone's skull, and the bullet will just go fuck off to the right or something. And you're like, what the hell? So the gunplay kind of has an RNG behind it because of this weapon degradation system, because when your weapons get progressively dirty, they perform worse. This is gay. I don't like this. Now, to add even more insult to injury, the audio is terrible in this game. It doesn't have any oomph to it. It doesn't really excite me. The guns sound alright, though. But everything else outside of that just feels like ass. It really does. It's not compelling. The voice acting can sometimes be drowned out by weather effects. It's really jarring, in all honesty, when it happens. And then Artyom himself sounds like he has a third fucking leg at times. Like he's tap dancing when he's just walking through an area. Especially in the slowed down walking segments that you had to go through in the beginning. It was like, do, 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 do. I'm like, what the fuck? And you look down and your legs are kind of spazzing out too. It's really weird. I don't like the audio in this game at all. And it feels like, I don't know. And there are some delays as well. So the audio in this game is just honestly not that great. Jim Sterling also brought up this point as well, if I have to name drop somebody so that you don't call me a liar in the comments section. But I don't like the audio. Even with my mix amp on my Astros, I don't think the audio is that great. It can be useful for tracking certain enemies like humans who are fucking worthless. We'll get into that. But yeah, audio issues, I'm not a huge fan. I think that the audio could have been done way better. And the fact that this game has been in development for so long, how the fuck did they not even innovate? Like, it's the same audio from, like, the last Metro games. So, let's talk about the human AI, because I kind of brought it up already. The human AI in this game is a fucking joke. They're very easy to cheese, and you are encouraged to do so, especially on the Hardcore Ranger mode, because it's the only viable way to really engage them. Because you could either engage them in the cheeseball stealth, which is another fucking problem I have with the game. I'm going to have to talk about that next, but the human AI, basically the way you can cheese them is either via the stealth or by literally just standing far enough away from them to where they shit themselves and can't do anything to pursue you. I actually have a clip here where I go to like this gas station and there are bandits occupying it. And I'm like, what if I just stand right outside this concrete barrier that clearly indicates where the AI can and can't go and just take pot shots? I easily killed all of the bandits, and they refuse to pursue me. They don't want to flank. The enemies just want to sit still and take the same positions as their dying comrades. They're like, oh no, Dmitri, you fucking died over there. Oh, I'm gonna take your place. No, no, you never watch in war. You never look at your friend die and then take his position and then try to take the same exact angle and don't even take fire back. I have this clip. You're gonna see it. Look at your screen. Look at your screen. Rewind this if you weren't looking. And just watch how fucking pathetic that was. Oh my god. The human AI is abysmal. And it's to the point where I wish they just weren't even in the game. I wish the game just had more mutants. The human AI doesn't offer anything. Now, granted, I like the whole after a certain point, certain enemies will surrender after a fight. But it doesn't add anything. It's like, oh, a bandit fucking surrendered to me. I guess I'll punch him in the face. Like, it's not, it doesn't really change my life is what I'm saying. But I think it's a cool detail when someone knows they're outgunned, they'll drop their arms. So that's really all I have to say about the human AI. God, what was I saying a second ago? There was a point. Oh yeah, the stealth system. The stealth system in this game is fucking shit. You move way too slow. It's way too exploitable. Like, enemies just straight up can't see you in, like, a shadow. If you're in a shadow cast by anything, enemies are blind as fuck. And you can kill an enemy and, you know, enemies that are, like, sitting right next to each other, and they won't even know, like, where you took that shot from. They're dumb as shit. The AI doesn't try anything to fucking... But look, I'm getting into it. Basically, stealth is incredibly overpowered, and if you exploit it in this game, it's highly advantageous, but it makes combat cheap. There we go. I encapsulated everything without going into a rant. It really, at its core, just makes the combat extremely cheap, and it's not fun or satisfying unless you're a dumbass who thinks that, man, I'm like Splinter Cell. I'm trying really hard to fucking... No. I'm gonna pull the veil from your eyes. I've played a ton of stealth games with stealth mechanics in them. Obviously, I don't know why I said it that way. And this is a terrible stealth system. It's laughable. It feels outdated. And a lot can be said about Metro Exodus and feeling outdated. Let's get into another fucking point that makes the game feel outdated. The controls and the movement system of this game, well, not necessarily the controls themselves. I mean, buttons are buttons. But I'm talking about the overall feeling of the game and movement system of the game. It's very sluggish and unrewarding. And yes, it does feel deliberate, and I know why they did certain things, because it does kind of suit the pacing of the game. But in a giant open world, feeling very slow is just obnoxious. It's not really something fun. It's not really something that's engaging, and RGM just feels sluggish and floaty. Like, when you're aiming your gun, it doesn't feel right. And I eventually got used to it. And the way I did it on console, if you're curious, is I kind of cranked up the sensitivity all the way, and then like maybe 2 bars down on my aim sensitivity, and that felt the best. And then I used more subtle movements on my analog stick when I'm trying to, you know, scan my environment and stuff. That seems to work really well for Metro Exodus. Just to give you some perspective, if you enjoy this game like I do. I know it sounds weird saying that, but there's still some good to this game, guys. Like, look, Let's Talks are rambly, okay? This is not a professional video. Fuck off with your comment. So, anyways, the movement system in the game just feels really, really sluggish. This also ties into another thing that the open world offers you as far as transportation, the boat. Fuck the boat. If you can get around getting in the water, guys, do it. Do whatever you can to avoid getting in the water, because the water segments in this game are annoying. They're cheap as fuck. It's a way to get like cheap damage on you as a player, because there's really nowhere you can go to avoid the damage. So basically, crustaceans will come out the water and spit at you when you're on this boat, and you have to eat that fucking damage because you're paddling so slow. You can't put the paddle down fast enough to evade it. And the only way you can evade is backwards and forwards, which you can't do if one of these fuckers jumps on the front of your boat. So you really have no options but to take the damage cheaply. So I think the boat mechanic is just gay. And then there are these giant whale-like creatures who are mutated fish, I guess. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. That also can interrupt you from even getting into a boat. Because if you get into a boat and they fuck you up, well, that's the end of your life. So you kind of have to wait for them to go away or go do something else until they fuck off, and it's annoying. The boat mechanic sucks. It's terrible. Like, I wish it wasn't in the game. You can't remove it. At least speed it up. Or make the boat larger so I have more variety. Or at least let me put down the fucking paddle when it's time to kill a fucking spitting crustacean. Okay, now that we got over the boat, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say negative about the game. I think that this game is not a 9 out of 10. This game, when it comes down to it, the biggest problems that it seems to have is just this overall lack of innovation. The AI doesn't feel different than previous Metro games. It feels like the same fucking thing. Now, I haven't beaten the game. Maybe there are more interesting enemies that pop up later on, but so far, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the variety the game has offered me. I think the human AI is fucking abysmal. And downright almost made me quit the game because a lot of the early fights are with humans. But the mutant fights really are starting to win me over in certain aspects. And the level design and exploration is really, really fun. If anything, I kind of feel like this game's like a better Fallout game in terms of exploration. Like, if you wanted to play Fallout 4 and you're like, man, this exploration sucks ass, this game can actually scratch that itch. You know, having the whole immersive gas mask mechanic is also really cool. Like, all in all, I think Metro Exodus is good. It's not great. It's a 7 out of 10 if I was to slap a number on it. I don't like going by number scores. I might have said that before. I know I've definitely said it in the past, but I don't like going by number scores. I think the game's good, but I don't think that these critics are doing it due diligence, especially for the console port of the game. I think they played it on PC, and maybe that version of the game is just far superior. I'm sure it is. I'm sure you got, like, beautiful textures and 60 FPS. Like, I would fucking, ooh. I bet you it looks good. I bet you it looks good. You know, PC Master Race all the way with the Metro Exodus. You know, download the damn fucking Epic Games Store. Get over yourselves and play the game. But it's not a masterpiece, and it's not a must-buy either. I think you could get away with skipping this game, and if you're looking for a more polished first-person shooter, you're not going to find it in Metro Exodus. This game did not innovate at all from the previous games in terms of its gameplay, and I think that is the biggest flaw if I was to really wrap it up. Anyways, guys, this is Violent Games signing out. Hopefully you enjoyed this ramble. It was 20 minutes long. Holy shit. Well, it was more like 19, but look. I had to get this off my chest because I like this game. I do. But there are some things that I don't want the developers to bring into the next Metro if there is one. They need to change the core mechanics of their game and modernize them to where they don't feel like shit. Because the core gameplay kind of feels like shit. And I like some of the survival aspects of the game. I like that hyper-immersive feel. And that's why I'm sticking with it. I really think there is some value in this game, but we gotta be objective here. We have to be objective as people, or as gamers. We can't just be like, oh, I love open world games, and this one's a decently well-made one. Let's not criticize it. No, we need to tear this shit apart and take it for what it is, because this is developer feedback. This is what developers think. If everyone's giving this game a 9 out of 10 and developers are like, oh, our game's the fucking shit, they're gonna have, and then they're gonna have triple tap dances, fucking audio issues, disjointed storytelling, a voiceless Artyom. I don't want any of that in the next Metro. We need to criticize this game because I love Metro. Metro was one of my favorite FPS series ever. And I am honestly disappointed to say this game lacks innovation in most aspects, but does make some steps in the right direction. I love the craft pack, I love the exploration, I love the mutants, and I love the graphics, just for reiteration. Alright, I'm out of breath. Need a paper bag, fuck. This is Violent Games signing out. God bless.